Hey, good Tuesday evening to you. What's going on, family? How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. And, well, if you don't know who I am by now, let me just help you out. I am Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. The Dungeon Delver. What's happening? I hope you're all having an absolutely, positively wonderful evening. We had a good show last night. We had a great show last night as we kicked off the deep dive of Dungeon Module C2, Ghost Tower of Inverness, with its author. That was the first time we'd had in studio, although I guess I can't really technically call it in studio, can I? Because he wasn't here. He was here in a telepresence kind of way, though. We had Alan Hammock coming at us with history and information, and we're going to continue our exploring of Ghost Tower of Inverness. Now, we may finish this tonight before we get to the AD&D game. We may not. If we do, we'll kind of jump back. We're sort of going in reverse on the classic C modules. If we do finish it up tonight, which I'm not confident we will, there's a lot in that module, guys. We will go into C1, the the hidden shrine of Tomacon, and we will do that on Thursday, because tomorrow night we're playing Traveler, and Kyle doesn't have time for our Dungeons and Dragons nonsense. We've got Traveler to play. We've got shootouts with bad guys to have. So that's what's going on tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we'll do stuff. That's when we'll pick up Tomacon, like I said, and then Friday we'll either start or continue Tomacon, or we'll continue Ghost Tower of Inverness. But we'll just have to see how that's going to work out. So that's what's going on this week. And then next week, next Monday, we'll continue with module deep dives. Tuesday, we'll be right back where we're at now with AD&D, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Oh, I have comments. I have a bunch of comments. Hello, Doomsword, Ian, Damien. Kyle doesn't have time for drop 46 lowest. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yes, that is what we are doing. That is our schedule for the rest of this week. Now, starting next week, Thursday shows. I don't think you guys will notice anything, but I'm just putting this out here. And I know there's a tiny bit of Venn diagram overlap, just a little bit of Venn diagram overlap with some of you guys and something else that I do. And it will be starting this Thursday. This Saturday is the start of the season for my own beloved Alabama Crimson Tide football. And I have a live stream show with several other knowledgeable aficionados of the Tide when we're going to get together and we're going to do a sports show. And that will be on Thursday nights. You guys shouldn't see that. That should not impact this show in the least. I'm just letting you know that. And if you want the link, I'll share it with you. But that kind of brings us back around to where we are, because tonight we've got AD&D. But first, we're playing just a little bit of catch up on C2, Ghost Tower of Inverness. So I've run my mouth long enough. You've listened to it long enough about schedules and so on. So let us go ahead then and rip open Ghost Tower again. And we're going to go all the way back. I'm going to scroll up here. Give myself a case of scoliosis. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this module is all about. We talked about the ins and outs of it, the nuts and bolts, the ups and downs, but we didn't really get into the plot, and it actually has an interesting one. And I'm gonna read this to you guys, and I hope, yes, TJ, I will share that link. I sincerely hope that I do it justice, because I am not of the school of thought that says a module shouldn't have a detailed, intricate plot. I think it can, insofar as it doesn't interfere with what your players are doing at every step. Looking at you, Greyhawk, or Dragonlance. Sorry, I just saw the word Greyhawk. Looking at you, Dragonlance. Looking at you, Forgotten Realms. Modules that will literally drop NPCs on your characters if they start to do things wrong. No, this is a very well balanced module, in that it has a lovely backstory, and your players can listen or not as much as they want or not. But regardless of that, I think it deserves a good look. So we're going to add this. Share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. Okay. And by the way, if this looks a little clearer to you, if this is a little crispier, a little sharper, not a retina display thing, not, you're at the AV store and you're like, I'm going to use Delver's Dungeon as our 4K display for our 4K sets. It's not that good, but I did bite the bullet, and we are now and forevermore in 1080p. It is more expensive. That's how it is. I don't like watching the older videos. I don't. But when I go on YouTube and I have to look at them, I'm like, wow, that is really 2011 looking there. That is some pixelated stuff. So jumped up a little bit in the resolution. So that's what we've got now. And I'm paying the price for it, but it's for you guys. So let us begin to begin. A shadow from the past, the ghost tower of Inverness has loomed ever larger in the minds of the great seer of Ernst. Now he has convinced the Duke that an expedition should be organized to go into the ancient keep and recover its greatest treasure, the fabled soul gem. And that could be the totality of it. Village of Hamlet. I'm going to give my thoughts on that when we do a deep dive, TJ. You will hear them in full. YouTube does not charge for higher res streaming. I'm using a service called StreamYard, which simplifies streaming for me greatly. But the StreamYard service charges more. So let us continue. And of course, this module was originally written for the official Advanced Dungeons & Dragons game tournament at WinterCon 8, held in Detroit in November of 1979. It is the second in TSR's competition series, modules that were used in official tournaments. This module contains a challenging setting, a scoring system, and characters specially prepared for the adventure. It may thus be used for competition among players, or groups of players, or as a non-scored adventure included in an ongoing campaign. Also included within are background information, referees' maps and notes, encounter descriptions for players, and a background scenario linked to the World of Greyhawk fantasy world setting, which, as Alan said, they were marching orders were shoehorn this in the World of Greyhawk. So let us dive in. We're going to jump right past the maps and go straight into the box text. They're simple but effective dungeon maps. We have some great art there. Saying great art by Errol Otis is just a redundancy. There is Errol Otis art. And this is really well written. I'm gonna read like the first, and I'll read through this. I'm not just gonna just recite the whole thing, because it really deserves to be read. But Alan has really good voice here. So to continue, know you that in the elder days before the invoked devastation and the reign of colorless fire, when the ancient peaks of the Aberall still thrust skyward sharp and majestic, and the Flan tribesmen were but newcomers to the land, there existed between the bright desert and the mouth of the river Selentan a great fortress called Inverness. The walls of this castle were said to be proof against enemies and all things magical or natural. Know you also that here was said to dwell the great wizard Galop-Dreidel at the height of his power and glory, and then he did lift the castle Inverness from the very foundation of rock upon which it rested. Most grand and terrible of all Galop-Dreidel's work was the keep's inner tower, great inner tower, for it was there that the wizard's most prized possession, an eldritch jewel known only as the Soul Gem, was said to rest. Legend says that it was like a great white diamond, and that it glowed with the brilliance of the sun. In years long past, it had fallen from the sky and landed in the foothills of the Aberalls, where Galop-Dreidel discovered it as it lay in the fires of its glory. Through magic's most arcane and knowledge forbidden to mortal men, he did bend its power and shape the stone to his will. Stories say that the light of the gem dragged the souls of men screaming from their mortal flesh and trapped them within its many facets. Galop-Dreidel, it was said, harnessed this power and used it against those who opposed his will. They also say that he who controlled the gem could call forth the stolen souls of men and make them do his bidding. For the stone that Galop-Dreidel had raised up the great central tower and filled his castle with many horrible creations and deadly traps, and, using a great incantation, did he wrest the tower from the very fabric of time and set it apart so that those within would not be affected by the passage of years. Thus it was that his traps never faltered, nor did his guardians age or need food. Townsfolk whispered that Galop-Dreidel would, at times, set a prisoner free in the tower merely for the sport of his beasts. Some legends tell that his power was so great that he even taught the gem to protect itself from those who would take it from him. But despite his great power, there came a time that Galop-Dreidel did leave on a journey northwest over the river Selentan and did not return. At this time, there came a great multitude of superstitious peoples from the surrounding lands who had laid siege to the castle and threw down the great tower. And it came to pass that despite this seeming victory over their feared former master, the people did shun the area, and it was said that on fog-shrouded nights, the great central tower of the fortress Inverness could still be seen. So a great little story, some great legend work. And that's something you don't get out of rolling dice, not strictly. And so we're told where we can locate it, a little bit about the module background. And then we get into the why of what your party is going to be doing here. For many years, legends of the Soul Gem persisted. And so it happened that one day, not long ago, while researching in some ancient tomes, the great seer of Ernst discovered the strange account of the Soul Gem and the legend of its master. He recognized the power of the stone, and through further research unlocked the secret of its control. Armed with his knowledge, he took it upon himself to recover the gem and went so far as to investigate the ruins of the keep. But even with all his power, he was turned back from his quest by several unfortunate encounters in the upper ruins. Turning to Justinian Lorinar, Duke of Ernst, for aid, the seer recounted to him the story of the soul gem and of the magician's own unsuccessful attempts to recover it. He convinced the Duke that the gem could be both a very powerful protection from one's enemies and a great tool with which to battle the forces of evil. He confided that if he, the seer, knew how to use the gem's power and could teach the Duke Lornar this knowledge, if he could but obtain the jewel. Now, you guys don't think the seer, you as DMs would not have the seer like, yeah, look, just get the gem for me. Everything will be awesome. We'll be co-managers of the gem, you and me, right? So the first admonition we get is that there's very little hack and slay involved once the players are in the tower. Now, I think that's debatable, unless we're talking about the tower proper and not all the dungeons. I think the dungeons have plenty of hack and slay. Not a room with 50 goblins, walk in, draw your longsword, and go to town kind of hack and slay, but I think there's plenty of opportunities for combat. And of course, it's necessary for the DM to read the module thoroughly, make notes. The text in the encountered areas, the text in the encounter keys are divided into two sections, boxed and unboxed. The box sections are descriptions to be read to the players. The unboxed are DM's information, of course. Hey-oh, Imperial Ramblings. Hey, IR. Actually, you can't. Dang it. I was going to have you share the link to the sports podcast, but I have to do that because you guys can't paste links in. Then we have 3 sets of ramblings. One right there. We have 3 sets of maps. Plus some visual aids. The maps are of the upper ruins, the dungeon level, and the ghost tower. Due to the unstable condition of the ruins, and we talked about this last night, certain spells are potentially disastrous if used in the dungeon. Oh no, we didn't touch on this last night. Fireball or lightning will collapse within a 20-foot radius of the impact, doing 2 to 20 points of damage. You say it's disastrous, but I think it could be potentially helpful, depending on the monsters. And we talk a little bit about that time management issue that we've got. Speaking of time management, need to just... Sorry, getting a message here. Just need to respond. Let's see. And then we'll get back to, I promise we'll get back to the module. Just got to paste this in. Don't want folks to miss this. There we go. Anyway. Wait, as I parked that right in front of you guys. Whoa. Sorry, I forget that there's stuff on the screen. I'm trying to find the right. Yep, that's the right one. My apologies, guys. Okay, so we've lost ourselves. Maps. Module background. Ah, good. Acrobat's locked up. The Houndstooth Podcast. Thank you. Thank you, IR. You can find the channel from there. Okay, so back to the module. So yeah, you don't want to use area effect spells, real-time limit. And to talk a little bit about tournament use in the module, to talk a little bit about it. All damage is averaged and constant. Monsters don't pursue players beyond the room that they're in. No wandering monsters. Any rooms that are not keyed are considered empty and may be described as dusty, dirty, and cobwebby with some piles of rubble and rotten timbers or whatever the DM desires. Several of the encounter areas included with this module were not designed for tournament use and should be ignored. All non-tournament encounter areas are indicated by the number in parentheses. And there are tear-out sheets, scoring sheet, and a record sheet. But let's talk about non-tournament play with this module. So I'm a campaigner, you know. Now, if you guys want to come back when we've sort of looked at this and talk about tournament play, by all means. But we did talk a lot about it last night with Alan. So, it should be 5 to 10 adventurers of levels 5 to 7 and should contain at least 1 thief, 1 cleric, and 1 magic user. Parties of lower level characters should either be much larger or, a much better alternative, equipped with 1 or more NPCs, such as one of the tournament characters or the sergeant of the guard. Rotten Timber should be the name of my... What, Robert? What should Rotten Timbers be the name of? It may also be necessary for the DM to establish a new reason for the players to enter the ghost tower. The idea of criminals might be used by your party, but it may be simpler to have them hired for the job, guessed by the seer, or some other relatively easy method of guaranteeing that the players will undertake the mission. A new scenario, if designed, may be as simple or complex as the DM desires, possibly stretching over several sessions as the players travel to keep Inverness. Some of the guidelines contained within this module may be altered. Monsters, for example, might pursue the party out of the area specified. Wandering monsters may be added to the upper ruin and the dungeon level. Tables have been provided for these areas. Wandering monsters may also be added to the tower itself, but this has been left to the discretion of the DM. Now, this is something I meant to touch on this with Alan last night. But I have hit on this before when talking about other challenging modules. The Ghost Tower of Inverness has been designed for experienced players, and the mistake of equating experienced characters with experienced players should be avoided. I've said it over and over and over again. Experienced players can overcome any module, potentially, within reason. I don't care how experienced they are, a first level party is not going to crack the Tomb of Horrors. But experienced characters are really only as good as the people using them. And if the people using them don't know how to use them properly and aren't getting the old noggins jogging, it's not going to help. But anyway, it's been designed for experienced players. A party of inexperienced players may become frustrated in a short period of time, especially under tournament conditions. Experienced players, on the other hand, should find Ghost Tower an enjoyable and challenging experience, whether used as a tournament or normal game. So the tournament background. This is what you would be reading in the tournament. And I said we're not going to dwell too much on the tournament background, but it's a good bit of writing, and I feel like it deserves its due. You don't know what time it was when you were awakened, for the room stayed in had no windows. All you know is that you had been roughly dragged from your cot by the palace guard, and that you now find yourself walking down a dimly lit corridor. With you are 4 people whom you had never met before, each escorted by several heavily armed guards, similar to the ones who walked by your side. You wonder what the others could have done to deserve so dubious an honor. In front of you, a great iron door swings open, filling the corridor with an almost blinding light. Before you stretches a huge room ornately decorated with elaborate columns and finely detailed wall hangings. One of your group, a simply clad woman, steps out onto the finely polished floor before you and into the throne room ahead of her guards. The rest of you follow behind her, urged forward by the spears which the guards impatiently press into your backs. Across the chamber sits Duke Justinian Lorinar of Ernst. To his right, partially shrouded in shadow, stands an advisor, the mysterious magician known only as the Seer. At a motion from the Duke, your party is urged forward to stand before the ducal throne. A smile creeps across the Duke's face as he speaks to your small band. He seems strangely pleased with the turn of events. I imagine you are wondering why you have been brought to appear before me today. His eyes sweep approvingly over the 5 figures in your group. None of you betray any apprehension about what is to come. Most of you, he continues, have been convicted of crimes for which you should spend the greater part of your lives in my dungeon. His gaze falls upon one of your party, a thin man with a short black beard. Hodar, he begins, you dared defy a royal order and continue to dabble in sorceries, which I had forbidden to all the people of my realm. Hodar's face remains calm as the Duke turns to the next of your group. I should have thought that a warrior of your caliber, Limbu, would have known better than to slay a captain of the guard in a barroom fight. A broad grin is the huge warrior's only reply. Never mind the 11 guardsmen you killed while resisting arrest. Zinithar, says the Duke, shaking his head as he addresses the next in line, a distinguished-looking man with gray hair. Your wisdom must have left you when you decided to lead that ill-fated Temple Coalition revolt these 3 months past. And you, Diskink, your rash, daring, and bravado is really to be marveled at. One has to wonder where you would be now if not for the broken cornice which caused you to fall, with the crown jewels in hand, on top of Sergeant Norlick and his men while they were out on patrol. The thief merely shrugs. The Duke then turns and slightly bows to the last of your group, the tall barefoot woman. Of all you 5, declares the Duke, Li Han is the only one here who should not spend the rest of her life in prison for some crime. I'm deeply honored, Li Han, that your monastery saw fit to offer your services to me as payment of this year's taxes. This group meeting doesn't work if one of the party is a paladin. Darn straight. And that's where you'd have to make that adjustment to fit this if you were, not going to go this route. As the Duke finishes speaking, the shadowed figure of the Seer steps forward to address you. His features are indistinguishable beneath the long robe which hides all but his gnarled hands from view. It is fortunate for all of you that the Duke is both a wise and merciful ruler. His words are almost music-like, but have a strangely malevolent undertone. He is willing to make a most generous offer to Skink, Hodar, Lambu, and Zinithar, you shall be granted amnesty, and Lihan, you shall be freed from your bond of service if the 5 of you can perform but one small task for His Majesty. Yes, the Duke interrupts. Recently, my advisor, the Seer, has discovered legends of a fabulous treasure rumored to lie somewhere in the ruins of the ancient keep Inverness, an almost mythical jewel called the Soul Gem. If you can bring it to me, I will grant all of you your freedom. You will be given enough gold to equip yourselves for the adventure as you see fit, the Seer adds. I will provide your party with a most wondrous magical amulet. This amulet will return you to the royal palace when you press the center stud. It will work wherever you may be, for such is the extent of my power that I can locate a single grain of sand on some far distant beach. Be assured that your former stations shall be awaiting you if you return without the gem. The Duke motions for the group to follow the Seer. Go now and prepare yourself for the task, he commands. After the preliminary setup is finished, inform the players that they have been escorted to the ruins of Keep Inverness. The great walls loom above them, and the captain of their escort guards delivers a letter to them before riding off with his men and all the horses. The letter bears the seal of the Duchy of Ernst, which when open reads, "You are hereby granted title to and ownership of any and all treasures, save only the Soul Gem, that you remove from Keep Inverness and its grounds. These gains shall be subject to the ducal treasure tariff of 20%. When you are ready to return, join hands and press the center stud of the amulet you have been given. Preserve the gem at all costs. Your continued freedom depends on its return. Remember that the Seer has many eyes. Good luck, and may the gods smile upon you." And then we have the not for tournament use wandering monsters. For the upper ruins, we have a were-tiger. And there are, as you can see on the left there, and I'll zoom in. Thank you, as always, Adobe. Oh, good Lord. Greetings, Lord Corion. Howdy do, y'all. So in the upper ruins, on a D10 check, and we have a normal chance of encounter. It says 1 in 6. I would go with AD&D standard and say 1 in 6 per turn. Check every turn. But the monsters we have are wights, were-tigers, bombardier beetles, doppelgangers, and there are numbers appearing on these, by the way. 1 to 4 wights, 1 to 3 were-tigers. Bombardier beetles, 2 to 5 of them. 1 to 3 doppelgangers, who can appear like any of this stuff. Remember that. Giant lizards, 1 to 4 of them. 1 to 3 giant snakes. 1 to 3 brown bears. Greetings, Wave of Mutilation. Hopefully my wave did not arrive mutilated. 1 to 8 giant ants. I love giant ants. A single stone giant or single horned devil, all just kind of passing through. As we continue, in the dungeon level, 3 to 18 giant centipedes, 1 gelatinous cube, 1 to 6 giant badgers, 1 to 8 ghouls, 1 to 3 green slimes, 1 to 3 gray oozes, up to a couple of lacrata, a couple of rust monsters, a basilisk. I made much hay about the ogre mages, or ogre magi. There are 2 of those, potentially as many as 2. It's on a random die roll here. Yeah, 2 of them. 1 ogre mage properly played will be the death of a party of 5 5th through 7th level characters. That's the end of them. A 6-headed Hydra and an illusionist, and we have stats for them all here. Now, in this group, I would say at least the were-tiger is approachable. I mean, if you've got a pair of were-tigers, maybe they're adventurers. Remember, they're, I think, neutral. So they might be approachable unless it says otherwise here. There's that terrible great horned devil. Why is my computer gone potato all of a sudden? Well, guess I'll have to reboot it. No. Won't be doing that. Did I miss the were-tiger? Huh. Well, be that as it may. Be that as it may, unless they're just in alphabetical order and further down. The illusionist could be a real challenge because the illusionist is evil, and let's face it, the illusionist is probably in there looking for the stone. Lokarion says, remember, they are as adventurer of you as you are adventurer of them. I like it. Anything you encounter that you can't easily identify right off the bat is considered a monster. Oh, there we go. It is in alphabetical order. There's the ogre magi. I mean, just such bad news. Rust monster. Up to 3 were-tigers. Lovely little thumbnail from Errol Otis. And we come to the key to the ruins. And we read these last night. I was packed baking soda for oozes and slimes. Some deoxit. You want some deoxit and some IPA. Just treat them like corrosion on a motherboard. Just a big toothbrush, some deoxit, some IPA, some baking soda. Just clean them right up with some light scrubbing. So we talked about those 2 areas. Now the dungeon level. The objective of exploring this level should be the collection of the 4 parts of the keys, as explained below, to enter room 15. 1 part lies somewhere in each of the 4 routes to the center room. The following area descriptions are arranged by entrance. The southeast entrance leads to areas 5 and 6. The southwest entrance leads to areas 7 and 8. The northwest to 9 and 10. And the northeast to 11, 12, and 13. All routes eventually lead to the impenetrable door, 14, and the central room beyond, 15. And then there's another caution about fireball and lightning bolt down here. Each of the keys is a blue-gray rectangular bar, 6 inches long, 1 inch wide, and 1/4 inch thick, with a 2-inch diameter circle on one end. See the illustration. It is smoother than glass. The way I said rust monster. Rust monster. It is smoother than glass, harder than steel. There was more. There was a comma there. I thought that was a period. And is treated as +3 hard metal for saving throw purposes. All 4. That implies it can be destroyed, boys and girls. That implies it can be destroyed. Dungeon Masters, do make your saving throws. All 4 keys are necessary for entry into the central room. Whenever 2 keys are held together, overlapping a square end with a circular end at a right angle and flat, not box-like, the juncture will glow a soft blue color, then become warm, and then disappear, leaving the bars permanently joined into an L-shaped one-piece unit. When the last key is joined to the others, the resulting 8-inch semi-square figure, see illustration, will glow with a strong blue light, not stopping until it is pressed into the matching indentation in one of the 4 doors, 14 hereafter. Note that this shape somewhat resembles the configuration of the outer walls of the castle and the round towers at each corner. So there you go. Galadriel used the keys, but he knew the area so well he could easily bypass all of his own traps. And so gathering the keys took him comparatively little time, and he could teleport from room 15 straight up to the tower into the jewel room. Only Galadriel, or perhaps the sage, could separate the key into its component parts again once the parts had been joined. Well, then there's some scoring there. I don't know. I got to say, Jack Photon, the name, Jack Photon puts me in the mind of an 80s action movie with a child protagonist. And the MacGuffin in the game is the MacGuffin in the film is a laser tag-like game with a fictional character who's the imaginary sidekick of the child protagonist, and his name is Jack Photon. It's like what gives him courage. You know, like what was that movie, Top Secret? Not the one with Val Kilmer, not that Top Secret. Man, I really overthought that. Use the bones of large creatures. See, that's why you have a knacked flint-headed spear. You keep that around just to deal with rust monsters. Jack Burton is my true hero. Is it when the poison arrows fall from the sky and the pillars of heaven shake? You look that storm right in the eye and you do what old Jack Burton does. You say, give me your best shot. I can take it. I think I got that right. And so we have these interesting traps. And we come to... Come on. I love how mice wheels don't work on this computer. They just kind of make the page jerk up and down and give you guys a wanging headache. These are all the staircase landings. The wrought iron staircase spirals down to a landing in the center of a circular chamber 60 feet in diameter, which is dusty and filled with cobwebs. A 20-foot wide corridor of work stone leads into the darkness. There's nothing of interest in these chambers. Give the direction of the corridor appropriate to the entrance. Oh, yeah, we're big fans of Big Trouble and Little China around here. We all love us some Big Trouble and Little China. So 4 are the staircase landings, and let's see. Can we find the map real quick? Dungeon level map. Okay. So as you see here in the corner, those are all 4, and they will lead in the appropriate direction. Now this 4 immediately leads to a couple of optional rooms. Oh, my PC is just choking here. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China is something special. So room 5, which is optional, the monster squares, not for tournament use. If a player steps on a numbered square, the following should be read. There is a sizzling sound as a monster appears out of thin air and attacks. And you can see, of course, each square there that monsters can possibly be in. They cannot avoid at least one attack. They can maybe try and go diagonal past 6, but one will attack. And then you roll a die to see what appears. Whenever a player steps on any of the numbered squares, the DM must roll one 6-sided die. One monster will appear in the square indicated by the die roll. The type is indicated by the same roll, referring to the following chart. So player, let's say they step on square 1, trying to leave. So rolled a 2, giant lizard, 20 hit points, 1 attack, damage 1 to 8, double damage on a roll of 20. And they'll have to fight it. And we get fun stuff like giant spider, Lucrata, rust monster, giant spitting snake. So if you're wondering where these monsters come from, these wandering monsters, well, this is a room where they teleport in. Each monster will appear only once. If any number is rolled a second time, nothing will appear. Note, it doesn't say roll again. It just says nothing will appear. It is extremely improbable, but a party could literally have no encounter going through this room. And then 6 is the bugbear room. This 90 by 90 room has a 20-foot high ceiling. There's a 10-foot wide passage in the center of the west wall. In the room are 16 bugbears without weapons standing perfectly still. However, they do not appear to be statues. In the center of the north wall is a 10-foot long, 5-foot wide, 5-foot tall stone sarcophagus engraved with lettering. The bugbears are in a type of temporal stasis. 4 will animate in their numerical order, as shown in the illustration below, and attack any intruders within the room each time one of the doorways is passed through. For example, if a party member steps into the room and then out again, 8 bugbears will be animated. The doorway and not the floor is the trigger. Flying and levitation spells will still animate the monsters. Characters using Dimension Door and teleport spells will not activate the bugbears, regardless of whether the room is entered or passed thereby. And I love that bugbear illustration. That is just one of my favorite. That fighter is getting his head nearly turned around. Is this... Oh, hello, Dungeon Minister. Is this a kiddie pool version of Tomb of Horrors? No, it is not. This is fairly different from Tomb of Horrors, tonally and in many ways. I mean, they're similar in that they are goal-oriented, trap-filled dungeons, but I would say that is where your similarities stop. So he's on an owl now. Oh yeah, the guy getting his head turned around by the mace. The bugbears are led by a chieftain bugbear. 4 hit dice, 27 hit points, damage 4 to 10, 2d4 plus 2. Where's my mouse pointer? There it is. In tournament play, a normal hit by a bugbear will do 5 points of damage, while the chieftain will do 7. If an inanimate bugbear is attacked, it will suffer no damage that round, animating and attacking the following round. A total combined strength of 35 points or more is needed to move the heavy stone lid of the sarcophagus. The engraved runes on the sarcophagus can be deciphered with reed languages. If this is done, the letters will read, "Beware the death that will someday end," a reference to the temporal stasis of the bugbears. Opening it will reveal 6,000 copper and 2,000 silver. There are 4 gems, values 10, 50, 60, and 1,500 gold pieces, and a flat piece of metal with a circle at one end, one of the keys. And there's some scoring information there if we're doing this tournament style. And we'll cover room 7, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. And as I said, we will pick this up again on Thursday. We will devote a lot more time to this on Thursday. So this room is 50 feet square. Its 20-foot high ceiling has collapsed in 2 places, leaving rubble, rotten timbers, and 2 piles of rocks 8 feet high beneath the holes. A 10-foot wide passageway continues north from the opposite wall. Behind the western pile of rubble, indicated by an M on the map, is the lair of a manticore. And there's its stats with its tail spikes. In tournament play, the manticore's attacks will cause 2/5, or I'm sorry, 2/5 with the spikes doing 4 points of damage each. It will spring to the top of the western rubble pile, and anyone who gets within 30 feet of that pile, and will throw the tail spikes until engaged or out of spikes. A monk may dodge these missiles with a successful save versus petrification. And if they search the area after slaying the manticore, read the following description to them. Poking around the manticore's lair, you find several skeletons, at least some of them are human, covered with filth and dried droppings. There are also various rusted suits of armor, rusted weapons, rotting pouches, and so forth. One of the skeletons is wearing a suit of chainmail, remarkable for the fact that it is not rusty. In a pouch are 2 glass vials filled with liquid. An ivory scroll case lies beneath one skeleton, and a flat piece of metal with a circle on one end, partially covered by filth, is in one corner. The chainmail is +1. Potions are flying and water breathing with 1 dose each. The scroll case contains a magic user scroll with 1 rope trick spell, and the metal bar is a key. A sip of potion will give a clue to its purpose without draining the dose. For example, water breathing. Your throat burns and the air seems to feel thin. Note that if a potion is consumed while another is still in effect, we get potion missability, which is a fun part of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And let's see, we got a few minutes. We'll talk about the illusory ball. It's because I don't want this module to eat up like weeks and weeks and weeks. So we'll get as much in as we can. When you open the door, you see a 9-foot diameter stone ball rolling very quickly towards you. Somebody cue the Indiana Jones fanfare. The ball is a programmed illusion. It will roll at a rate of 12 inches towards a rubble room, 7 above, with a great rumbling roar. If players are struck by the ball, it will pass through them with no effect, but others in the party will think they saw the victims being crushed by the ball. The victims must touch the survivors to dispel this illusion. These victims, of course, take no actual damage. Unless dispelled, an illusory ball will appear each time the door to room 8 is open. The ball thus created will roll to room 7 and fall into an illusory pit. More than 1 ball may accumulate in the pit. The illusions may be dispelled by entering room 8 or by casting a dispel magic spell at a ball. The illusions being created at 12th level of magic use. So, some interesting stuff. Now, people have accused, and I personally, I don't think it is an accusation. I think it's an honor. But people have used the term Funhouse Dungeon to describe the White Plume Mountain module. Personally, I think there's lots of Funhouse stuff in this dungeon, but we'll get more into that later. For now, we're going to set this aside. We're going to set that aside because in just a few minutes, we're going to join our players who are playing in our ongoing first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game, which I hope you guys are excited about seeing. Before we get to that, I do want to take a quick minute. Let's see here. I want to take a quick minute and thank some folks here because, first of all, if you're new to the channel, if you're just stopping by the first time, would you please consider clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already? Click the bell icon for notifications. That's always greatly appreciated. We really appreciate it when you do that. If you like what you see here on the channel, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. But if you do give us a thumbs down, all I ask is that you leave a comment in the comments below down there and tell us what you don't like. And we'll change things up. We'll make it better for you. So that's how I roll around here. Also, you may have noticed the crab's pointing to it. You can support the show on Patreon. You can support it on Subscribestar, or you can do direct donations, super chats, all that fun kind of stuff. You don't have to, but it is appreciated if you want to show the show some love that way. Hey, I thank you. And for those who have chosen to do that, let us take a moment and pause and say thank you to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William the Smith, Dungeon the Minister, Manny the Wall, Mark the Corey, Kevin the Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, the thing that I can't say, Ulyss, Jeremy Rule, Boganora, Mikey Mank, Sky Hernstrom, Pete Sullivan, and the DM's Council. Thank you so much, guys, for coming out and showing your support that way. I sure appreciate it. And that is very awesome of you guys to do. Goat butts against the edge and his horns become entangled. It is actually a oh, I'm going to get this wrong. I apologize. I'm not intentionally trying to crack wise about somebody else's culture, but the goat butts against the edge and his horns become entangled is something. Is it from the Tao Te Ching? Somebody check me on that. But yes, it is referenced in the most excellent film, Big Trouble in Little China, by Egg Shen. Goat butts against the edge and his horns become entangled. I don't think we've had the pleasure. Indicating difficulty at the beginning, but eventual triumph over evil, or something like that. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So let's see. I think we got everybody in order here. Let's see who's waiting on us in the green room. Oh, I gotta send them. I got to message people. I got people to let know to get on into the game. Come on. This is that scrolly mouse thing that I cannot stand. Need to reboot this computer a little bit more often, I think. Not right now. Don't reboot PC. All right. So we are currently just waiting on one player to be here. Thank you, Wave of Mutilation. Thank you. I appreciate it. Green room or green slime room? No, I can't throw my players into a green slime room. They'll dissolve waiting on me. They'll think it's Mountain Dew or something, and we all know where that leads. So we're just waiting on one more player. And by the way, we're at 1288. We are at 1,288 subs here on YouTube channel. Thank you so much. That gives me the largest navy in the world, 1,288 subs, or the biggest sandwich shop in the world, or the biggest S&M dungeon in the world. But I'm not really going to say anything about that. Someone was going to be late, but they are not late now. We are waiting on Doomsword. Doomsword, if you're watching. Doomsword, paging Doomsword to the green room. We're just waiting on Doomsword. A dozen from 1,300. We were 11 from 1,300 last night. I thought there were like, gosh, we got close to like 30 people watching or something last night. And I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then I checked the metrics today. It's like, oh, down one sub. Oh, well. All right, Doomsword will be logging in just a minute. I'm going to grab my studio headphones. We got somebody sitting in the back room. They're not going to be joining in the game, but I guess that's like the equivalent of getting your backstage pass at the concert, right? Oh, that is very tangled up. Well, I'm gonna untangle my headphones while we wait on Doomsword. Did I fix it? Oh, this thing is just tied in knots. I'll have to try to remember how to fix that later. Anyway. There's Turgo. So let us welcome back to the adventure, everyone. TK, Mark, Lord Corion, and Turgo. Welcome, one and all. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm so glad you could attend. Come inside. All right. Well, without wasting too much more time, when last we left the Intrepid Adventurers, it was in media res because you folks have got a handful of trouble in hand. So let us go ahead and snap on over to the tabletop, which at 1080p should be nice and crispy for most of you viewers at home. So this might even be a little bit better for you, TK. I hope it is. I'm not trying to be cute. I genuinely hope this is a little better for you.
You know what would be great for me?
Corneal transplant?
Well, yes. Paint them bright orange.
Paint them bright orange. Well, I'm not going to do that. But if you are going to be on cloud nine if you guys fight like some salamanders or fire elementals. I can see that. It's right there.
Cheese golems.
Yes. Okay. So last week, get my pointing stick. We're low tech here. Laser pointer just ain't getting it. So last week, the party had kicked down the door of this room of hobgoblins. And the door was actually more open than that. There we go. You had slain a carnivorous ape that had come out and proceeded to attempt to peel and eat Turgo. But there are still many hobgoblins milling about the door, calling for your blood because you've killed their mascot. Meanwhile, from this direction to the south, just out of camera shot there, I think you can just see the base of one of the miniatures. Let's see. Abner, because you're in the back and you've got some men-at-arms back there, you see a group of bugbears coming your way down the hall. There are just three of them, but one of them is holding up, looks like a staff or a spear. It's covered with skulls and feathers on strips of leather and bits of metal, and it's making a hell of a racket, and he's shouting something, and Bugbear, not Bugbear, I'm sorry. It's,
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. So we'll just start at the top of the order. Outlier is laying them out in the front rank over here, I believe, just at the end of the... there we go. Right there. And then next to him is Turgo, and Lynx is in the mix. And back here we have Abner, and that pawn kind of representing the body of men at arms. So, TK, what is Outlier doing?
Do I know that I heard that voice from around the corner, right? It was something about the whole "we will bathe in their blood" or something.
Yeah, it was. Lots of people were saying things. The din of battle is around you. So what are you doing at this moment?
Okay, so I didn't hear the magic user show up then.
Not specifically. And this is magic user you're talking about. I don't even know.
I'm stereotyping to the cautious end of things. Hey, if it's just some mook with a stick, there'll be a dead mook with a stick.
Well, there you go.
It's better to assume. Okay, so now then I will start cleaving my way through whoever is still in front. Are the ones that I held still held?
Yes, they are. Okay. There is a pair in the back that are still held, and there are a couple that are trapped in a web that Abner threw back there. And speaking of Abner, what is Abner doing?
Abner is going to start with sleep on the new people that are showing up.
Oh, okay. And how about Lynx?
I retreat, leaving the dwarf to die. No. I'm gonna stay up there and start swinging the sword. I will tell my men-at-arms to kind of hold their ground where they are right now, though.
Okay. And finally, what about Tergo?
Yeah, I'm going to continue frontline fighting for now.
Okay, so everybody is frontline fighting. All right, so your attacks should be as fast as lightning. Then why don't you roll for initiative, please, if you would, TK. TK421, why aren't you at your post?
Sorry, guys, that's a 1.
Okay, let's see. Hobgoblins. Okay, that is a miss on Outlier. That is a miss on Lynx. Missing Lynx. And let's see, what is Turgo's armor class, please?
That'd be 6.
That is 6. Let's see. I feel like that's going to be a hit from a 1+1 hit die creature, but we're going to find out here in just a second. It's a 14. Yes, that is a hit. As with a short sword, so you're going to take a d6 damage, take 4 points of damage. There are spear thrusts coming in behind that from the second rank. They are terribly disciplined. Terribly well disciplined, I should say. They're lawful evil, not chaotic evil. A 12 will miss Outlier. they pretty much have to bring the Scorpion in and start firing area effect bolts at you.
They could drop a pit.
That's very true. Let's see that. Oh, ouch. Yeah, that is a hit on Lynx. And finally, Turgo. That is a just missed Turgo. So Lynx takes 4 points from a spear thrust. Now, let's see here. I need to check something real quick, like in the player's handbook.
Like just how much damage a fireball does.
Or
Oh, no, I know how
rolling new characters.
Yeah, okay. Roll 3d6 for me. All right, now do it again. Now do it again. And a third time. Okay, now you can just put those scores in whatever order you want. Crap, I'm rolling up a new character, aren't I? Yeah. Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right.
If you didn't roll straight down, did you really roll a character?
Well, my co-host says no, but okay. So Mark, Abner is suddenly enveloped in a null space of complete silence.
Yes. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Does my pseudo-dragon familiar's magic resistance help me here?
Help you?
Because he's
Let's
touching
see.
me.
He's touching you. That is that's a good question. I had all but forgotten. Let's see.
You're going to grow to hate that thing, Bill.
No, I won't.
He already does.
Yeah, grow implies that there's a future where I hate it. I live in the now.
It'll just be dead. It'll be fine.
All right, let's see. They can transmit it to a human, so possibly, let's see, does its magic resistance do anything for you? Sadly, this time it does not.
Why did I get the screwed up pseudo-dragon? I'll have to go get another one.
Yeah, well, you can kill this one this round if you want.
Yeah, cheap knockoff
Let you do it
pseudo-dragon.
as a free
It's
action.
got a neck like a chicken. You can just kind of, hit it against a wall a couple of times.
I am enveloped in silence.
You are enveloped in silence, and the men at arms around you are like, they're clutching their heads and looking around in fear. Counterattacks at the front line. By the way, those of you in the front line, because this is a 15-foot radius, yeah, you guys can't hear either.
Cool. I hit a hobgoblin for 7.
This is an ex-hobgoblin. Bereft of life, it rests in pieces.
I hit a hobgoblin for 5.
All right, let's have a quick
Still
gander.
bereft.
Probably going to die. Yes, it does. It slumps to the floor with a groan of Rosebud. Thump.
And I hit AC4.
All right. That does hit the hobgobbo.
2 points of damage.
Okay, he didn't like that, but he is still on his feet. And let me just do this real quick, and we will start at the top. TK, what is Outlier doing in this round?
Well, as long as I have enemies in front, I will keep advancing.
Okay.
Keep cutting my way through.
I check to make sure the dwarf is still there, and then I continue fighting in the front line.
Fair enough.
I fight.
It's like you stopped hearing shouts and cursing.
This is so strange. Battle's never been this silent.
Abner is going to, I guess, physically grab his bodyguards, pull them in front of him as he backs up, going la 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 until he can figure out where the silence stops.
Okay, so you're gonna try and move. I got you.
Yeah, I'm moving back. I guess that's north direction.
Gotcha. Come on. There we go. Okay, then. Mark, roll initiative for us, please.
Oh dear. 5.
Okay, party goes first. You're starting to move, and you're dragging your men up the hall. Let's have some committed melee attacks, and let's go out there and win one for the team. I was talking to my monsters, by the way.
Well, your monster lives.
Okay. You slip in a little bit of blood from the gore from the puddle from that one in front of you.
I hit for 8.
That one does not live.
I make that gore that he slips.
Yeah.
in.
Gotcha. And how about Doomsword?
Yeah, I hit AC3.
All right. How much damage?
6.
Okay, that bugbear goes down. I keep saying bugbear, hobgoblin. I'm going to pull some minis off the table, too, just to kind of keep things clear. I don't want this to inexplicably become a room of infinite hobgoblins. Good Lord, Bill, how many are there? Oh, crap.
The whole tribe.
What's happened with Leo and Nerm? Are they getting a chance to? Do they have a chance to attack anything?
Well, Leo and Nerm are, I believe, back at the cabin.
Oh, I thought you had I thought you had some of your hirelings.
Yeah, there should be 5 here. I don't see anything coming from the hall yet. I just told them to hold the line.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure that they weren't forgotten. I've got my 2 bodyguards backing up with me, but you have 3, 5 of them. Okay.
I got 5 with me.
Okay.
So, and
You get to
no worries. I appreciate you as the rear guard.
You get to about there.
Yeah.
When you're a blah, blah, blah. You kind of startle yourself because suddenly you can hear again. So you have moved, and I need you to give me, well, first of all, let's see. Yep. Give me a saving throw versus spells.
Great. Oh. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I'll start rolling my new character now.
No. To quote James Brown from the Blues Brothers, have you seen the light? And you have. You are now blinded. There just literally a constant gold white radiance is directly in your line of sight. It is completely obfuscating your attempt to see anything.
At least I'm helping. I'm like glowing so they can put down their torches.
Yeah. Okay. Your second rank are spearmen, are they not?
Yes.
Okay. All right. They may attack in this round also. And there are currently, well, there are still 5 bugbears up to the front.
Okay.
What's it
So
with you
the
and your
5
bugbears?
So the
Bugbears,
5
damn
bugbears
it.
are our
Hobgoblins. I was going to write that in marker on my hand. Hobgoblins.
1 hits for 4.
Okay.
2. That's not a hit. That's a miss.
Whoa. Hold on. If they've got spears, just 3 are attacking. That's it.
All right. Well, 3 then.
They're not all leaning in there, just kind of ducking in under legs and over shoulders and everything.
I gotta get them pikes. Just bring the whole army in to the dungeon.
Yes. Okay, counterattacks.
Give everyone 13-foot lances. If the Phoenicians could do it, so could we.
So the hobgoblin in the back shouts, "Everyone attack!"
Wait, he gets to do it. What?
Well, you guys don't hear it. You just hear him pull.
That's
You just see him
true.
pull. He just kind of growls or something, snarls. You think
Hop, hop, hop.
that is a miss on TK. Outlier, rather. That is a miss on Lynx, and that is a miss on Turgo. And you guys had slain 2, so there's only one long spear behind them at this moment. There are others elsewhere in the room, but they're not moved up in this round. So let's see. That is a hit on. Well, no, I don't want to say that it is. Outlier is armor class 0, so it is not a given that will hit. And in fact, it does not. Your shield turns away, or rather your sword turns away the blow. Lynx, you are missed, and Turgo, you are just missed. So that is that. Okay. New round. Party going to continue to try and make hobgoblin cutlets?
Sounds good.
I've got a question. It's actually
Yes, sir.
a dual part question. Is it apparent that the magical effect came from behind us? I mean, to those of us who weren't facing it.
None of the. I mean, there's a great press of hobgoblins. You're not sure if one of them did something magical or not.
Right. Yeah, I'll continue to fight.
Okay. TK continuing to instabulate.
I think he will, but I
think he will. He just said something in the green room chat about being barely conscious, so I'll take that as a yes. Who were we to for an initiative roll? I think it was Lord Corion's turn, wasn't it?
All right, I got new dice this time. Let's hope we like.
Come
it likes
on.
us. It kind of likes us, a 3.
All right, I got my great white hype initiative die here that everybody hates. It is a 5. All right, first things first. Oh, I know. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, let's see here. All right, Mark, give me a saving throw versus spells for Abner. Actually, no. You're fine. No. You do not have to do that because that is not what happens.
It's time for the rest of the party to suffer.
No, you don't have to save versus spells. However,
I don't have to save because I'm just dead.
Yeah.
I would have failed, by the way, just for the record. I would have failed.
okay. So they moved in this round because Abner got blinded in the last round, correct? All right, so they move up in this round. You are now aware that there are bugbears behind you.
If I was like Abner, I would have a strong talking to your pseudo dragon about, saving you from light spells.
I did it again.
I forgot about the magic resistance with the light spell. Yeah. Well.
No, I checked the magic resistance.
If you live.
Don't worry, I am checking the magic resistance before I ask you to make a saving throw. If I just tell you that like some magical effect just kind of breaks like water over you, then the magic resistance work. If I say make a saving throw, then it did not.
Sounds good.
Okay. So we'll have them attack you guys up front. Let's do this quickly.
So
that
I
is
have 5 men-at-arms right there. There's some of them can turn, right? At least 2.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got 3 backing you up, and you've got 2 in the back to fight these 2 hobgoblins. So it'll work out perfectly. All right. And that is a hit. Unless what is Lynx's armor class?
2 with an asterisk, but I don't think my magic armor does anything.
No, this is actual melee related. So,
it's 2 armor class 2.
Armor class 2. Okay, that is an edge case, which I hate, but unfortunately they do happen. So let's see. And that is a miss. And finally, Tattergo. That is a miss. You are just flat out missed. Spears. That is a miss. That is a miss. And that is a hit on Tattergo for 1 point of damage. So
nice.
The white dice giveth and the white dice taketh away. And so your 2 men-at-arms who have turned around to fight are attacked with scimitars. That is a miss. That is a hit. And that man-at-arms, 'tis but a scratch. 5 points.
That's a very large scratch still.
Well, I can say, it's a severe bloody scratch that is leaving him screaming in pain and in agony.
It's about 2 inches deep, 8 inches long.
He's going to have to stitch it up with catgut, but it's a scratch. Like a red dragon might inflict. All right. Party counterattacks, please.
One of them takes 8.
One of them ceases to exist.
One men-at-arms hits for 4 from the back party.
Okay.
And then one hits for 4 from the front party, and that I miss.
Okay, did Turgo get his attack in?
Here we go. Ooh, a 20. Sweet.
Oh, nice.
I rubbed that die for a long time. And 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Gotta will the number you want into existence.
You must.
I don't know why y'all's dice hate you. I've been using the same random set for this whole game, and mine have been just fine.
I put them through a lot of dice training, so I put them all up on their highest value. That's what they're supposed to land on, and the ones that don't.
And gauntlets, ogre power, and all that stuff kind of skew that in your favor. You know what I mean?
To be fair, to be fair, they do. But even then, like, I don't have dice to replace. Like, I'm not replacing these dice. Like, even if I'm using, like, I promised myself I'm using this one set. And so it's just
yeah.
like,
Well, I need like a 14, 15 to hit these guys with a 12 strength. So
Yeah.
you know, man.
To be
I think
fair,
I think I found a pair that I'm alternating.
Okay, I need
Saving throws from all of us.
no, just a saving throw. Actually, for
From all but one of us.
do this fairly. This will actually be for Outlier. Sir Outlier, give me a save versus spells.
save the spells, pass.
Okay, yeah, you are set for a brief moment. You're overcome by this wave of doubt and fear, and you kind of begin to tremble, but you steel yourself and you realize that the maledictions and the curses and the utterances and pronouncements of doom and reading various passages from horrible ancient scrolls and whatnot behind you is just the words of a flea-bitten hobgoblin. It can't affect you. So its spell is infected.
Word.
So I think I get my, or no, that was end of round. Okay. Who are we over to? Was it Lynx or was it Doomsword?
Yeah,
Initiative. Doomsword.
On initiative,
That would be me. So what do I choose? Well, Bill's got a white die, and so do I. 3.
Mine was a 5. You don't have my white die. All right.
Cheating.
Okay, so we will start with the men-at-arms in the back. That is a miss. And that is a hit. And that man-at-arms only takes 3 points of damage, but both of the men-at-arms in the back of the party are now wounded.
Got it. Okay.
But it's completely quiet. You don't know that's happening now because silence 15-foot radius. Oops. Scimitar miss. Scimitar or spear miss. Scimitar 15. I think the 15 missed you last time. Spear, miss. Scimitar 15 will hit you for 2 points. And spear, I'm sorry, that's on Doomsword. Spear misses.
Blasted curs.
Okay.
Did we get declared intentions before we were attacked?
What do you intend to do?
Do I know a caster just tried to cast something on me? I felt the effect.
You did feel the effect. It wasn't from in front of you. It kind of felt like a wave that crashed over your shoulders. So I will say you are aware that it's behind you.
Cool. I'm going to turn around and go that way.
All right, so you're going to basically start shouldering your way through.
Yeah.
Obviously, a man-at-arms isn't going to just let you turn and get stabbed in the back.
That's how I'm spending my turn.
Okay, so you're spending this round moving to the back of the party. Mark, is Abner doing anything other than just flashing his headlights at people?
Yeah, he's instructing Harold and Hilda to throw flaming oil at those the hobgoblins.
Okay.
One of them can hold the torch, the other one can light so they can throw an oil, I think.
That's what they'll do. You feel one of them grab your shoulder as if to hold you steady, and very near your head, you hear the sound of like somebody rummaging through a pack. You are being used as a flashlight right now.
That's fine.
Link's going to continue to fight.
I want to do two things. My back rank of spearmen, do they know the other two? Can I send them to go help out? Because the other two...
It's silent. You don't know. You don't know what's going on.
Then the only other thing I'm going to do is, can I drink a potion in combat?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to drink one of the extra strength potions I've got.
Potion of extra healing?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing?
I think I've used only... I think I'm going to use one draft of it.
Okay.
What is that?
Well, that is... okay, just remember, that will take 2 to 5 segments to take effect. You could die or be severely wounded before you get it down. Just letting you know.
Okay, good to know. I'm going to attack this round instead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Doomsword, you're going to have Turgo live up to his name?
Yeah. What would it take to toss a flask of burning oil in there?
As soon as you start digging in your pack and trying to bring out a big pint clay pot, it's probably going to get smacked out of your hands. So
yeah, I'll fight.
Yeah, missile weapons at this range, not a good idea. Okay, then I think we shall roll initiative, and we are up to TK. Roll initiative, my friend.
Come on, 6.
We're saying come on 6 or come on, comma 6
Come
exclamation
on,
point.
6.
Okay, great. All right, you got it. You just won initiative. You spend this round pushing your way through the men-at-arms, and I will place your miniature accordingly. Hopefully that will be at least of a little bit of help.
I'm going to say hi to the magic user. I'm going to introduce my boot to his face. Well, could be their face. I'm not going to gender stereotype.
Great. You just walked straight into where the flaming oil is going to hit. Thanks.
I'll be fine.
Okay, party's missile fire. Roll. It's Abner's man at arms, who's sees a dwarf come out, and he's like, and apparently he thinks you're still deaf as well as blind, because just before he hurls it, you hear him like yell directly into your ear, "Never fear, my lord, I'll get them."
Hey, Harold rolled an 18, so maybe he did get him.
That is a hit. That's 2 dice 6. Well, let me double check, because Harold is a 0 level fighter, and these guys do have armor class, so it's not a given. It's not, but that 18 is pretty close. It's so see up to
an AC of 2 or something.
Up to 1 minus 1, and you rolled a total of 15.
18.
18 will hit. It will absolutely hit.
2d6 is 3 points of damage.
Oh. That's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. He just kind of slaps his tunic, pats that out. He will take another D6 in the next round, so it could potentially flare up, and he takes 9 points of damage total and dies. So,
plus he might be blocked from casting, huh?
It is not him. Wait, were you throwing it at the caster fellow?
No, I was just throwing it at anybody. So
okay, all right. So yeah, he's a little behind. He's a little behind. Yeah, throwing it in. Oh yeah, I should roll that. Thank you for reminding me of that.
It's all right. That dwarf has to die to a javelin, so he's fine.
He's getting hit from behind by something and then dies. Is the way it works.
Well. Outlier, you hear a whoosh as well. Actually, you don't hear anything at all. Just suddenly there's this bright burst of fire on one of the two hobgoblins. You're standing there facing him, and he's just like patting furiously, like patting the flames out as the oil drips down him. So,
can't even kill a mook.
Okay, inside the room. Inside the room, what are you going to do?
I assume hold the line with my 3 men-at-arms.
All right, make your attacks.
Nope. That's 1 hit for 1. What?
Ow!
Not a lot of help.
Okay.
And then actually the other 2, I guess I'll roll for. Hey, they did a lot better though. 1 hit for 4, 13. That hit? I don't think that's a hit.
Okay.
No, that's not a hit. All right, 1 hit for 4.
Oh, let's see here.
Hopefully
Well,
that
guess
kind
what?
of-
That's enough. That's enough to kill him. That is enough to.
Stabby. Oh, sorry. The 1 hit for 4 was from the back rank. That's,
I see. Okay.
I know you took the other one out, but it looked like you just added more to the pile of infinite hobgoblins.
Well, I took him because he died in the hallway, and I had taken one out of the room. So I said, well, I'll just move that one back into the hobgoblin room. So
When they're killed in the hallway, they are reincarnated here in the room.
We can't see the gauntlet generator in the
Yeah.
back corner of the room.
Yeah.
it's a big pyramid of bones that they keep popping out of.
Yeah.
Find it and kill it.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's all of your attacks, or does Doomsword still? Turgo.
Yeah, did Lynx have an attack? Or
I missed. I
okay.
haven't been doing well.
Yeah, I'll attack. That's gonna be a miss, I'm afraid. Yeah, AC 8.
Okay. Okay, the tall and robed hobgoblin mutters something, gesticulates, and reaches out and tries to put his hand on you, Outlier. And he actually might have gotten his hand on you. Words of the late great Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Put a spell on you.
Bette Midler did it better.
That, sir, is entirely debatable.
2 spells on you now.
You can't beat Bette Midler.
So he reaches over and clamps his hand down on your shoulder. And the whole Molar Ram Kalima moment, as you just feel this crushing, searing pain just ripple through your body. You can feel your skin blacken and burst where his hand lies, and you take 4 points of damage from cause light wounds.
That's okay. I have a gift for him.
Okay. And did I attack? I did not attack. So this fellow is currently trying to beat out flames, and across the front, spear and scimitar versus man at arms. Miss. Spear and scimitar versus lynx. Miss. And hit with a spear for a paltry 2 points of damage. Spear and scimitar versus Durgo. Miss. And a miss. Okay, in the new round, roll 1d6 to see how much more flame damage our inflamed hobgoblin takes.
Four more damage.
4. Let's see. And you did 2 in the last round or 3 in the last round?
3.
Yeah, he's kind of like running back and forth. You know, if I just run in a circle, the breeze will cause the flames to go out. Which
because he's in the silence area, he's like, and you can't hear him.
Well, you can hear him periodically, like silence. But yes, he does at the last moment realize, hey, stop, drop, and roll. Well, he stops and he drops. The hobgoblin shaman just sort of leans his staff against the wall and puts his head in his hands and just shakes his head. Now let's roll initiative if we could, please. And I think we're back around to TK.
My God, I could have sworn I just rolled.
Yeah,
did you?
Abner.
Okay, Mark, roll initiative, please.
3.
Okay, that is a 5. Well, that's working so well that let's see.
Cure me again. Do it.
Okay, so he's making different signs and sigils with his hands, muttering something else before he takes that step forward to put his hands on you. But I'm sorry, what'd you guys roll? A 3? A 3. Okay. Oh, I meant to ask, is Lynx now taking that drink?
No. If it's going to take a while, it's better to die on my feet.
Okay. Well, let's start because I know TK, you're waiting to put the hurting on this guy. So go ahead and do it. Roll your attack.
Do I hit AC 3?
Yes, actually, you just contact AC 3.
Cool. So the mage takes 14.
All right.
14 bananas.
30,000 pounds of mashed bananas.
And if I see the fact that he is still standing, I am suitably impressed. Good for him.
Better than he ever did. Actually, no, that may not. I'm sorry, you did a total of 14?
Total of 14. Even if
A
he's
total
alive,
of 14. He staggers back, like clutching at his wound, reaching out, and then slumps to the ground, pinned to Maglabiet or possibly Hextor. You don't know. You don't care. On his lips as he falls to the floor.
It's just like the whole, hi, nice spell.
You cast axe. You cast sword.
Exactly. Cast sword.
I guess sword.
Well, good news, Mark. Abner, you've got 2 giant purple spots in the middle of your vision, but out on the edges, you can now perceive objects, and that was gradually blinking away. So I missed across, or no, I haven't attacked across the front yet. All right, scimitar and spear. That's a hit on a man at arms for 1 point of damage.
Oh,
Spear is a miss. Scimitar and spear for Lynx. It is a 15 will miss you. A 19 will not, for 4 points of damage from the spear thrust. Turgo. That is a miss.
Excellent.
And that is a miss. So
Excellent.
I'm going to go ahead and remove those miniatures so that there is no one left in the hallway. And the sound of combat can now, the din of combat, something happened and it just rushes back in. You hear the curses, the cries of the dying and injured. It just all suddenly rushes back in. So that's a miss. That's all done. I need to check something. Counterattacks, please.
Front rank, I will hit for 6, and Man-at-Arms will hit for 5.
Wow. All right, so you drop 1. Man-at-Arms absolutely drops 1.
Oh, and nobody's in the back anymore, so I guess they look pretty.
Okay. Turgo?
I yell out, "We have slain your wizard," as I chop this guy in the neck. And miss horribly.
Okay. Yeah, you're too busy shaking your sword in the air defiantly. Mark, what is Abner and your men-at-arms are too far to do more than move up. What do you wish to do in this round?
We will move up.
Okay. Turgo, you shout, "We have slain your wizard," over the din of battle. In the next round, what is Sir Outlier doing? You are in the
Yeah, how many of the Hob and Bob goblins are left?
It's a little hard to tell, being as you are shorter than everyone else, but you think that there's perhaps a dozen of them, not counting females and young, left in the room. The females and young have not moved into fight. And being a dwarf and having dealt with them, you do know that actually the females and the young do tend to put up a fight when cornered. So,
well, I'm going to burn my last hold person, I think.
Okay. Mark, what is Abner doing?
He's just going to take up a position to watch down the hallway to the south to make sure no one else shows up.
Okay. And how about Lynx?
I'll maintain the battle line.
And Turgo?
Same.
Okay. I think, I don't remember who we are on for initiative. I think it's Lord Corion, but I could be wrong.
Hey, 5. That's not bad.
Okay, party goes first. I'm going to go ahead and roll saves for your hold person.
Yep.
Are you just hitting like the
3.
forward edge of the battle area?
3 and yeah. Give guys some easy targets.
Okay, that is a fail. That is a fail. And that is a success.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We're just hitting the classic songs tonight, all the classic music.
Lynx will hit for 5, but everybody else missed.
Okay, and how about Turgo? That's another dead one, Lynx.
And another mark on the character sheet.
Breaks out your buck knife, carves a notch in the paper.
George, you are
Oh,
muted.
shit, I was muted. Yeah, 20 on the big die for 7 points of damage.
That will almost certainly. Oh yeah. So you easily slay a pair more. Out of the room, you hear a hobgoblin call out, "Ah, this is madness! We are not to be penned in and slain like swine. No, is it treasure you want? Lay down your weapons, brothers and sisters. Can we parley with you, humans and dwarfs?" And you hear the clatter of shield and sword and whatnot hitting the floor.
You want me to handle this?
Hob. I don't speak hobgoblins, so
Yeah. Roar,
Lay down your weapons and make no false moves.
Oh, their weapons are down, hitting the floor. You can now see that there's a gaggle of female and young hobgoblins. The females are kind of trying to push the whelps behind them. A few of the whelps are feeling some bravado and holding up carving knives and cleavers and whatnot, and they are being battered about the head and shoulders by the matrons, the few that do that. So yes, you are hearing a great din of clattering as weapons land on the floor. So
Men in one corner, women and children in the other.
they so separate.
What's the word, Turgo? What's
What do we
it's
want to
clear they're
ask them?
surrendering.
What do we want? Keep an eye on them.
I'm going through the wizard's pockets.
I take the opportunity to drink a measure of that potion.
Okay, so one full draft that will get you back 4 points.
Gotcha.
A nice average number. Going through the witch doctor's pockets, you find a ring with about 8 differently shaped and sized brass keys on it. Well, some might be brown iron. You're not sure. Actually, you're a dwarf. You're very sure. Some are brass. There's a copper one, and then there's 2 iron ones. There is inside one pouch are 2 smaller pouches, and each one has a smoky amber liquid in it.
Okie dokie. 2 potions.
He has various fetishes for Hextor worship. At least you surmise it's that. You're no holy man.
Well, I mean, I am, but yeah.
Well, then you would know. Yeah, these guys are Hextor worshippers.
So we had a ring of keys, 2 potions.
And then just some,
Hextor paraphernalia.
hex or paraphernalia, candle stubs, a short circuit of wand, some magic feed corn that can just make reindeer fly. Yeah, just a collection of disgusting odds and ends. You know, rat tails tied into a necklace.
Okay.
What are we going to do about these hobgoblins?
There's a crude charcoal and wax drawing of based on the goatee and the white hair that are emulated in the image, and your knowledge of the hobgoblin language. It says "world's best dad."
Oh, how
The greatest treasure. Take it.
I'll give that one to Abner. His first collection of dungeon art.
Yes.
There you go.
Now I am the world's best dad.
I am now number 1.
I have the scroll, and it says that I am the world's best dad. And you do find some treasure. You find, let's see, you'll never find another coin of 9. Let's see. You find 6 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll take it.
Alrighty.
As far as what we do with the others,
I know what you will say.
well, yes, you know what I will say, so I'm not going to bother repeating it. What my character wouldn't say would be, let's turn out all their pockets, strip them naked, and send them on their way.
Yeah.
But yes, my character wouldn't mind killing most of them.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to him a little bit further. I assure you of 2 things. We are capable of showing mercy, and we will give no quarter where it is not warranted. How many of them are you? How many are in your clan?
Those that you see before you, you are mighty slayers and have taken the lives of the weak and unworthy. Truly,
So
you
we may be stronger.
have shown your wisdom and power to us. We need no further lesson, O mighty warrior.
And what of you if we allow you to leave? Then what?
We will depart this haunted place and return to the south. We will go into the hills of the Draken's Crab and trouble the kingdoms of men no more.
And what of your treasure? Have you any?
Just a few baubles that we trade between tribes for things we need for grains and meats and tools.
Between tribes, you say. How many further tribes are in this place?
We have met no others. As I say, this is a haunted place filled with many evil spirits. We dare not venture beyond these few humble rooms, which we just temporarily occupied.
I'm sure you understand if we allow you to leave, you'll be leaving those trinkets with us.
Of course, mighty and wise and just human warrior.
Do you know anything else of this place that would be worthy of slayers such as ourselves?
It was said by some of the more foolish and bravado filled of other tribes. We are but humble nomads, but they came back half mad from deeper reaches and spoke to us of great caves of wealth and beasts such as mighty worms and corpses that walked and walls that could speak and whisper terrible secrets into nightmares. But you slew the witch doctor who kept and studied most of this knowledge. Not that it was unjust to do so. I am sure in your wisdom you had your reason.
And where does he normally live? Where does he sleep?
The shrine there. If you turn on this hand as you look to the setting of the sun, there was the shrine room.
Indeed, assuming you have told me the truth, this was a valiant attempt at saving your life.
I speak the truth to you truly, warriors.
I must ask my companions, particularly our champion Lynx, who has been known to have slain dozens, if not hundreds, of hobgoblins. What shall become of you? What do you want to do with this guy?
My tribe asks you for your mercy.
Yeah, they're asking for mercy.
I am completely fine with granting them mercy. I want to know how they're getting out of here. Are they getting out the cistern or another way?
I asked him.
Okay. This is he answers you quickly. Dungeon Master needs to open a file.
Okay.
DM.
Yes, sir.
Any chance that I could make converts of these men? They put up a good fight. They worship law, even if it is law and evil.
So you want to convert them to
something equally lawful, just not so evil.
Oli Damara.
That could work. I don't think my necessary. I mean, some minor cult of a positive Earth deity. I don't think once again Moradin would be that interested. But I mean, hey, we can try. I can try and be a good priest to them.
Okay.
What do you think of Saint Cuthbert? Because I worship Saint Cuthbert. That's pretty hitting them on the head that we just did.
I mean, if Saint Cuthbert, think of it. I'll put it in their language. Our God helped us win. Your God didn't. Our God is better than your God. Ergo, convert to Christianity. Voila! That's welcome to the Catholic Church, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's not forget Turgoism. It's big around these parts.
The worship of Turgo. Just set yourself up, huh?
I imagine there's from Firefly the Jane statues. There's just a whole bunch of Turgo statues in every village.
I take converting them to Saint Cuthbert as a win.
Okay. Well, I mean, they have no spiritual leader any longer. Is Outlier a cleric of Saint Cuthbert? I mean, you don't exactly.
Technically, I am a cleric of whatever divinity would count as Moradin in your setting. So, because you said he was Moradin was a minor aspect of.
Well, I mean, if your go-to is Saint Cuthbert, and that, I mean,
his go-to, Lynx's go-to was Saint Cuthbert.
I was stirring the pot. Sorry.
No, you're good. My go-to is Moradin.
Right. I'm inclined to say that it's more of that it is more of an Oladamara. Would be the Moradin crossover, but give me a hot minute. Let's look that up.
You're good.
Let's see.
I'd be
So,
equally as happy with a little Mara. I don't necessarily mind.
so Olidamara. No, that's more of a thieving god.
Terrorism.
Turgoism, right? So let's see.
Tergo is the divine champion.
He's the demigod after all.
Oh, here we go. How about Blared?
Who the hell is Blared?
Blared, the Urdian god of metal, mines, and smiths. His holy symbol is an iron mule, as sturdy and patient as himself, or a hammer and anvil. He is the one that taught Urdians ironworking, pragmatic, preferring work to idle talk. And he is neutral in a line.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that works. That works. That fits the exact pantheon of that. Pretty much fits the exact thing for Moradin anyway. So
Okay.
I'll take it. Blared, I'll take it. Can I make converts of these hobgoblins to Blared then?
Okay. Urdian god primarily worshipped by gnomes, dwarves, and humans. Coming from you, given the lack of love of dwarves amongst hobgoblins, there is an adjustment. But then when I made their morale check, I rolled a 1. So as long as they're not getting their melons pulped, they're willing to at least listen to anyone.
I'm not forcing anything. I'm just giving them the option. Like, hey, y'all can learn to be lovely, productive members of society. If you consider converting now, I won't have to cut your legs off at the knees.
The headman translates this and says that it clearly must be Hextor's will that they turn their worship to Blared, because their priest was weak and was struck down, and now the mighty slayers are directing them to worship Blared, lest there be a blood sacrifice of legs given. So very quickly, just literally in the space of a few minutes, you create a minor cult of Blared amongst the hobgoblins, where Blared is now called Blared the Leg Taker.
Please take a pamphlet as you leave.
So Blared the Leg Taker is now the religion of these hobgoblins, and if you let them pass, they will jet. But as to your question, of leaving, so this is where we get into Dungeon Master does not have the Dwarven Forge set up for it. Out this passage to the north, a little past this, where the map clips, where the map no longer renders, there is a four-way
screen. I got it.
The loading screen. There is a portcullis. They point out that there is a pit trap just in front of that portcullis. But there is obviously a windlass. They can raise the portcullis. There's a four-way intersection just past the portcullis. But if you turn towards the rising sun, in the direction of the rising sun, there is the big chamber, the meeting chamber, the living chamber, the mating chamber. You kind of draw that it's the common room. And then a long passage that is perhaps 500 arm spans that comes out of the dirt away from the castle. So he basically says, north of the portcullis, turn right, go east through the common room, and then there's a 500-yard passageway that comes out somewhere on the outside of Castle Greyhawk.
Perfect. Then I think we should just let him go that way. I would take
agree.
everybody's weapons, maybe leave the chieftain a weapon as a symbol of goodwill, but take everybody's weapons. You need to leave now. Go that way.
Hold up.
Okay.
if they have converted to Blaird, we can't leave them entirely defenseless. Give them all at least a hammer or something.
All right. Well, then why don't we just say pick up your weapons. I don't want them to ambush us like all in one go.
Well, how about you let half of them keep weapons? How about that?
Something like that. All right. An amount of them leave with weapons, and they leave that way.
Okay.
Indeed. And consider your possessions, your coin specifically, a tithe to the new church.
Exactly. Go and spread your faith among the hills.
Okay.
And the caves of those hills.
We do actually have a question, and as I like to say, we like to be informative as well as entertaining. Wow, we're at 20 now. Welcome everyone watching. That is awesome. Was Moradin not in the Deities and Demigods book? Yes. However, we are playing kind of a strictish Greyhawk, and they actually, with rare exception, and there are notable exceptions, but with rare exception, follow the Greyhawk deities list. So, and I don't completely just say, no, there are no special gods for dwarves, elves, gnomes, and halflings, and so on and etc., but rather aspects of deities are deified. So in this case, Blaird, as I read the description, the Erdian god of mining and ironwork and so on, specifically worshipped by gnomes and dwarves. Older faiths would say that is, that is Moradin. Blaird, who is Moradin.
Mm-hmm.
But in a more generic setting, I might take that up and just say, okay, everybody, every demi-human race gets their own pantheon. And Call says if they eat human flesh, then they need to be obliterated. Well, that remains to be seen. We'll see what aspects of Hexter worship make it into their Moradin or Blaird worship.
Baby
Yeah.
steps.
Hey, it's
comes
the
in reformed Blaird or whatever.
remember, it's the first step on their journey. They can always turn around and go back the other way.
Blaird the leg taker. The chief might say, we still eat flesh, but we don't kill the people first.
We have to
As long
find
as
them.
it's
dead.
halflings, I don't care.
Well, the sacrament
Just give us a little slice out of your arm. That's all we ask. We not monsters. Well, I mean, we are monsters, but
I could see actually the threat of leg taking being from like gnomes and dwarves specifically, that being a real thing. Like the gnomes just show up with like a battle scythe chariot monstrosity, and the dwarves just have axes.
Or to kind of flip it around to like 120 degrees, their cult grows and they believe that leg taking is why dwarves, gnomes, and halflings are short. They were cursed by Blaird, and Blaird took their legs and stuck their feet on their knees.
Exactly. I like that interpretation. Quick, we need to go back to Greyhawk and get some scribes, actually. The campaign's changed.
I should write out some pamphlets in my free time then when y'all are like busy healing or resting for a week. It's like, what are you doing? I'm writing sermons. Why? Because I'm going to pass them out to the new converts.
Spreading the good news.
We don't rest for a week. We have you.
Well, sometimes when your followers go down, y'all have to rest for a week.
I don't even have any. But these guys need to leave their coin before they beat it out of here.
And thus it was about 30 years later that hipster teenagers in the city of Greyhawk all started to collect the laughable Jack outlier tracts that they would find in libraries and coffee shops.
Oh.
Check this out. It says I'm going to go to the abyss if I play papers and paychecks.
So what do we get treasure-wise, DM?
Okay, so from the grand total, and there were many hobgoblins in there. Rather than just rolling it up, I am going to say that you get a total of 248 gold pieces. There is some copper. Do you want the total on that? Do you care about the total on that?
Give it to the men-at-arms.
Okay.
It's one of the benefits. You get the small change.
Also, important question for the party. There were like 5 hobgoblins held. Are we letting them carry their stiff brethren out?
I assume we argued for so long that they're coming out of it, honestly.
Yeah, a sermon, negotiations, promises, counteroffers, that sort of thing. They're like
10 minutes later.
We had the dance that happened in the middle of it.
17 billion copper pieces to the men-at-arms. It's literally an asteroid of copper. All right, so let's see here. Copper pieces. We'll say there's 173 copper pieces.
That's a good bonus for them.
And let's look in lair. Let's actually check treasure in lair. Because this does appear to be the chieftain's room. You know, there's obviously they had the carnivorous ape was chained up against the wall. There are, I mean, you know, hobgoblins like soft stuff to roll around on and sleep in too, and many bowls of catnip. Which you can only
paraphernalia. I got it.
Exactly. So let's see. Goblin, hob. Let us look and see what they have for treasure in lair.
I think it's like age.
You think it's treasure? Oh yeah, nice try. And then they all had magical plate mail, even the magic user. he turned it into a Volkswagen minibus. All right, so individuals J and M, D and Q times 5 in lair. Well, you guys have already gotten a good chunk of their treasure.
Correct.
But let's see if there's anything left. Let us have a gander if there is anything left.
There could be something.
Come on, first item.
There could be. All right, so
the thief needs a new pair of boots.
A thief needs something.
Okay.
It's a magical plate mail. No, literally.
You may have. It depends when I get over to the magic items. All right, so let's see. No copper, no piles of copper, no piles of silver. You guys have probably taken the piles of silver from them already. So we'll move on. No gems. Oh, maybe jewelry. Yes, we have some jewelry lying on a table and scattered on the floor. We have. I'll use the white die because it rolls very high. 6 pieces of jewelry. You guys might have just gotten a huge score here. Nice. And maps or magic, any 2 plus 1 potion. I was extremely generous. You don't know what the potions are, but you do have some.
And you said they're both amber liquid, so I presume they're both the same.
Possibly. You haven't tasted them. Possibly. Uh-oh. There's a 1. If it comes up from a 1 through a 5, you're going to get some maps and magic. A 15. Okay, so you've got some items that you don't know what they are. You've got 6 pieces of jewelry. So yeah, there are 2 items and something that is obviously a potion. Grape Maple is not wearing earrings. Do the men-at-arms have any say on releasing these evil beasts to terrorize their villages? Cole is very upset at you guys. I should just point that out. Cole is not happy. Uh-oh. We lost Doomsword. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled.
Corey, I'm still here, right?
Oh, you're still here. No, who did
Links dropped.
Links dropped. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, those men at arms have a say until we remove their tongues if they get too mouthy.
All right,
Like,
so
what do you mean
we
you're
have,
letting them go? Well, would you rather kill them? It's the followers, right? It's like, well, what do you mean what do you mean we're letting them go? It's like, well, fine, you fight them.
right. You guys can go with them. Whatever. We'll find more.
there he is.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. So obviously we got a whole bunch of money with that jewelry right before
Mhm.
I dropped. What was that?
That was 6 pieces of jewelry.
6 million gold pieces each. Wow. Real
Six.
generous.
All right.
Sorry.
As we say in the South, we'll keep praying for you. All right, let's have a look. See, I think we're going to do this live. I think we're going to roll up this treasure live. Does Abner have Identify handy?
Yes, he has 2 scrolls of Identify.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's see. So what are these items? And I did kind of tip my hand. It is bad DMing of me. I just blurted out that they're magic items, but hey, that's on me.
Maybe
That
they're
is
just
on
really
me.
glowy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'd figure it out.
Yeah, it's just a rod of plutonium with Nystul's magic aura. It glows softly blue. It's warm to the touch. It's detecting as magic. I'm going to keep this in my pack. Why are my teeth falling out?
This stick's not magical. It's just a foot-long toothpick. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, let's see now. Magic items, table 3.
Artifacts?
No. All right. So you have a sword, and as soon as you touch it, even slightly, it does pulse out a faint glow. We'll find out what it is. A pan flute that summons rock. I love it. There's our miscellaneous magic item.
We don't need it. We just have links. He just attracts the rock cars.
Could you imagine
That's a
Link?
spell-like ability I have.
Could you imagine Link's playing the pan flute though? It doubles effectiveness.
What you don't know is that's the story item, so I become like some worm that walks wizard or whatever when I play it.
He is my favorite Elder Evil, by the way.
The worm that
Isn't-
walks.
Yeah, isn't that a thing from 3rd edition, like the something Path of Worms or something like that?
I think there's a million different things.
Yeah, he was a killer Elder Evil. He was great.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's like some kind of story arc, like one of the early Age of Worms or something.
Age of Worms, that was it. So 75. Let's see. So you've got your sword. You're not sure what that does. The other is in a stiff leather box. There are placards, tiny placards, perhaps 3 inches by 2.5 inches, with a very intricate geometric pattern on the uppermost one facing out the top of the box.
I'll just spread those out and see what they say. No, I don't.
I draw 5. No. What size S word, DM?
I'm sorry, what?
What size S word?
Oh, what size sword? Sorry. It is it's a long sword.
Okay, thief. There you go.
And Corian's got a long sword too, right?
Yeah, and I got a magic one, so.
And I guess this one's magic. If this one's obviously better for a fighter, then you take that. I think we need
I'll
to
swap,
identify
yeah.
that. Yeah, and we'll just swap over.
Okay. So Corian, you're taking the sword.
No, we haven't done anything. We'll figure it out once it's
Okay.
identified. But
All right.
Right.
So seriously, what is the second item?
I told you it is a box with tiny placards in it that are about 3 inches long and 2.5 inches wide with identical geometric pattern on the top one that's facing out. You don't know about the others because you haven't told me what you're doing with the rest of the box.
I thought you were kidding.
The Hobgoblin Chief was playing solitaire. With his colleagues.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Deck of illusions, deck of useful items, deck of many things.
Deck of nothing good will happen.
Deck of something really good will happen.
I draw 2 cards.
Yeah, let's identify that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So we got 2 magic items. Abner, if you would please do the honors, if you could identify the sword first,
You want me to
because
do it
that is
right
the
here?
less exciting item. Let's be honest.
Okay.
I apologize. The sword does not glow, but it does seem to have some lambent energy about it. Yes.
If you want, I will read my scrolls now. Yes. Okay.
I think now's a good time. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I will use 1 scroll of identify, and that is not going to hit me with a con drain, right? Because it's a scroll. Or is it going to hit me with a con drain?
It's gonna hit you with a con drain.
And I am not doing that in the dungeon. No.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
We can schlep everything out. We need to go back anyway. I'm out of spells.
That's fine too. Yeah. I'm really low health, so.
Yeah, we should go.
All right.
All right, we're gonna
You
take
want to look for that? Oh, sorry. You want to look for that? The witch doctor's room.
Yeah.
That one guy told us it was like right around the corner or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pack everything up in a sack or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go looking for the witch doctor's room. Is that to the right or the left? The shrine.
It is to the south, so it's basically it's where you saw him coming from.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish off the extra strength healing potion, and then let's go and do that.
All right, so that will give you 5.
Slightly over half.
There you go.
Guys.
Hey, you're doing better than me.
It's like when you're playing Doom and you got the bloody face and you're like, man, should I just reload my last save? Ooh, medikit. Okay, I'm good. I've got 39 hit points. I can take like an imp fireball or something like that. I'm good. Okay. So
Sorry, I preferred Chex Quest.
I'm sorry, a purist. Yes. Okay, so you continue to the south, and in doing so, and I may have to readjust the camera, you pass a hallway, and Turgo, you now recognize where you're at from your time before, from your reconnoitering, yes. And I will
sojourn.
That's one of my favorite Gentle Giant albums, by the way, for those of you who are prog fans, Gaseous Sojourn. Hang on a second, and I will move the camera so that is a little bit more viewable for our studio audience. One moment, please.
Wasn't Sojourn a R.A. Salvatore book as well?
I think it could have been.
Homeland,
Don't ever
Homeland,
associate that with me,
Sojourn, and
please.
Exile. I think are the 3.
All right. Oh, that's good. Okay, so the Turgo marker. A door to the west and a chamber to the south. Which do you wish to do?
Right. So, yeah, I think it was the chamber to the south that you
Mhm.
said.
Yes.
Right. Yes. I'll go there then.
Okay.
Very carefully examining the floor as I do so, and occasionally looking up toward the ceiling.
All right. Nothing along the way seems to be trapped. This room that you're in is very obviously a small shrine to Hextor. Directly opposite the doorway, there are manacles on the wall, and you think, okay, well, there's iron manacles on the wall, and then, they must have rusted against the wall, and the closer you get, the more you realize, no, that's not rust. Painted in the same brown substance, which you presume is dried blood, on each corner, or on either side, rather, of the manacles that are on the wall, that is here and here, are leering demon faces, pentagrams, all sorts of nastiness. The room has a coppery stink in it. There is the faint outline of a circle on the floor, and it is worn smooth with a passage of many, many, many feet. And they probably did, in small groups at least, worship in here. There are black curtains on the north and south walls covering the stone. Off to one side is a table, and before the chains is an altar. Kiss and AC/DC posters on the ceiling.
Yeah.
That devil.
Yeah, I'll give the symbol to motion the party forward. This is
All right.
this
Follow up.
requires the group.
Okay.
Strongmeyer, do you have any holy water? We could douse on some of this stuff.
We gotta break the altar, otherwise Hexter will take over our hob flock again.
Yeah, I've got 4 flasks. I don't know if the DM, if dousing a evil altar in holy water is really going to do anything, but
It's a moral victory, right?
I'll say if I have a hammer and a chisel or a couple of mattocks and 10 minutes, I can break that altar in half.
However your god works, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oladamara would not frown on such an action. You know that.
I guess while the dwarf is destroying that, I poke around to see if there's any more treasure or rot grubs waiting for me.
Check for rot grubs. What's your? It's like 100% chance for you, right?
Just as a heads up,
It's 98% chance.
Nah, I'm not going to stick my foot in my mouth. Go ahead.
All right. So you spend a while, and yeah, you're able to smash this basalt. It does take some work, but you're able to find a couple of cracks to fit your pry bar into, and some loving taps of a hammer, and some pouring on of holy water. You give it a good ablution, and you definitely feel a bit of unease, as though Hexter saw this and is not happy with it at all, but that makes you happy. So you might have broken whatever minor lowercase c curse was on this place. As far as looking around the room, there are scraps of skin that have got paeans to Hexter. gouged into them into the dot pattern that is Hobgoblin language, but other than that, nothing of note.
I'd like
Okay.
to spend a few minutes explicitly searching for secret doors.
Explicitly, so ooh. All right. So yeah, you spend the time he's doing that, getting pinged with stone chips and whatnot periodically, searching around the room, and you do not find any secret doors.
So this guy had nothing, huh?
No, he did not. A simple ruck on the floor behind the desk, or not even a desk, the rude table and the chair, the aforementioned accoutrements. There's some black iron candelabras standing in the corners, but this was most certainly just a shrine to Hextor.
Turgo,
Aye.
I'm gonna hold out the shrunken head and the daisy chain of rat tails and the other fetish wear. Sorry, I mean fetishes, wrong channel. And pass them over and go, here you go.
Does he
And
want
what is
you to
this?
eat them?
Well, you were
I don't
you were
know.
certain this is what he had on him.
All right. Well, I'll take a look. I mean, is there anything like embedded in any sort of ear holes or eye sockets or anything
No,
like that?
no, it's just disgusting
Yeah.
items as described.
Yeah.
also
I
had-
tossed that onto the floor.
He also had 2 potions and pocket change, but I'll hold on to those for now.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing here, and he left to the hells with nothing. Good riddance.
Well, we finished up roughing up this place.
What's down that other hall?
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
down
that
there?
door.
All right, so you're going back and then heading west, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, we can at least look at the door, right? You don't have any heals left or anything like that.
I'm out of gas and I'm under half. I'm trying
Right.
to save. I'm trying to save our last healing potion.
All right. Well, maybe I can listen at the door.
Yeah. Turgo, in your gaseous reconnaissance, did you go through here?
That I don't know.
You did. Now that you recognize the place, yes, you did, and at least in the chamber beyond, which you're kind of getting towards the limits. In the immediate chamber beyond, there's a guard post, but there's also instruments of torture, and there was a further hallway beyond that. So,
Right. I did. It looked like a torture chamber. Something beyond, I'm not sure about. But there was a guard post here. I would assume most of those guards we already fought and sent away.
maybe.
I hope.
Well, I'll listen at it regardless.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
You don't hear anything.
Appears to be silent. It's up to you.
I wonder if Outlier being cautious instead of running forward is a good sign that maybe we should leave now. Outlier's often the one who rushes forward into battle. If he wants to go back, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. If Outlier is tired and weary and cautious, like that says something.
All right. I mean, who else would be in there? Honestly, we're just clearing the rooms we've already been through because we just went the other way.
Rot grubs, vermin of unusual size,
Honest-
guards that were left behind.
Fine,
Lots of
fine.
things.
We go back, retracing our steps.
Remember, the hobgoblins, they don't have to have explored that area. They could have had just this area and the other one with the intersection and blah blah blah.
It's true.
I don't think this doesn't sound like the big room that they were talking about. That was the other way.
It was the other way.
Right. So
Yes, when you let them leave, they went north and then east.
DM, is that door locked?
No, it does not appear to be.
Oh.
Does it have a lock?
No, it does not. Not on this side, anyway.
Okay, so it doesn't match any of the keys I have. Good to know.
Yeah.
Keys. That's an important thing. We didn't ask
Just
about
blast
the
that
keys.
junk open. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. On your head be it.
When he opens
Abner's
the door,
moving towards the back.
Yeah.
I'm back there with Abner.
All right, fine. I open the door.
Kill your character, Mark. Would that be Abner Cadaver?
He's going to be a necromancer. It's a part of the plan.
All right, I open the door.
All right. Easy peasy.
And that's when the army of trolls comes out.
Damn it.
It's only a few.
Plenty of new converts. They'll come quietly, right?
I'm glad y'all are in the front, not me.
Okay, so 4 hobgoblins are milling about the place. They are not surprised. You guys didn't exactly, leave anything. The one nearest the door, we'll just say that it is this fellow here. Kind of looks around the corner when you yank the door open and says, "Hey, what you doing?"
Telegram from Mongo.
Surrender.
We have slain your witch doctor. We have left the place in shambles. We allowed the rest of the tribe to leave. They told us you were here, and we decided to come and liberate you from the place as well before we further ransack it.
Ha ha! You funny! Big joke!
It is no joke, my friend.
They're picking up the weapons and kind of forming up. They're looking sort of hostile.
Mm.
We did
Well, then you shall
try.
die.
Apply bill hook to problem.
Alrighty, let's go down. Applying bill hook. What is Abner doing?
Staying out of trouble. He's tapped.
Okay. Doomsword is going to... Turgo is going to Doomsword them.
Yeah. Could I be using that other sword? Or is that just hanging out with somebody?
No, you can use it. You can use it. You'll just...
Would that have been reasonable to the rest of the party?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if that's cool with you guys, I'll just be using that.
Otherwise, it's in a sack. So.
Honestly, I'd rather, if anybody else gets a magic sword, I'd rather it be you, because it'll up your hit matrix and stuff, so.
Right.
I'd rather it be me, so I have 2 swords. I can choose.
No, you want scimitars that you can dual wield. And Link's the fightar.
I will be in the front line swinging with at least, I guess, one of my men-at-arms.
Outlier, roll D20, please. Or roll initiative, please. Not D20. Roll initiative.
4.
It is... no, what is... Let me roll yeah, you guys go first.
Well, damaging is good. That's 9 to one of them.
Okay, you obliterate one.
Oh, that's 2 20s.
Wow.
6 and 8 damage, respectively. That is never happening again.
Well, we went from 4 hobgoblins to now like 1.5, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So how about Turgo? Now is Turgo using the unidentified weapon?
Yeah, I am. But I
Okay.
rolled an 11, which would normally hit AC 8 for me.
That hits.
Oh, well.
It is a longsword roll, longsword damage. That is a D8.
1.
You still take him through the heart on the point, and he falls down. Again, this sword is not glowing. There is one hobgoblin left. And we'll just get this out of the way now. Yeah, he drops his scimitar and said, "Oh, yeah, right, okay." Yeah, he's horrified at the sudden murder that's happened here, and he immediately surrenders.
You must have been the smart one that they told us about.
Yeah. Do we let him go, or do we slay him for his defiance?
I mean, you know what? He didn't even get a chance to follow through on the defiance. We let him go. It's
Fair enough.
yeah.
I'll hand him a pamphlet.
Okay, yeah.
Go that way. Take a right. Heading out there. Your rest of your tribe's there.
Thank you, Rob Adams, a boot to help evict them. Thank you very much, Rob. We appreciate that. So yeah, he is bolting. He is Elvis has left the building.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sonny Red. I give myself a peanut butter nanner sandwich. So he is gone, and there is the empty chamber, and I will just tell you straight up, it is various living quarter items and hobgoblin-y paraphernalia, and the aforementioned torture items are in one room as well. Manacles, an iron boot, a rack, a table that's just got manacles on all 4 positions. It's kind of more of a free form, stab, burn, hit kind of thing.
They wouldn't happen to have a flask of oil laying around, would they?
It's
the kind of room where you might find that kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
massage.
They do.
Cool. I'll go ahead and refill my thing.
Is there another door out of this room, or is it a dead end?
Well, there's a door up the hallway further to the west, but there is not a door out of these side chambers.
Gotcha.
So that's not a door directly across from the hallway.
I'm not following you. There's the 2 chambers here, and then there's a door here.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And
that
did I ever
door-
go through that one, or was that one?
You did not. You were your life lock was blinking at that point. There is a fiendishly complex looking iron lock in that door.
Perhaps
So
a key would fit.
That's true.
Indeed.
Sure.
All right.
Thief, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, can I go ahead and search that for traps first?
Of course. You do not detect any traps, no.
Seems to be nothing here. Abner, would you like to try the key?
No, you can do that.
Thanks for the permission. Sure, I'll look at the keys and see which one that I think might fit, and if it's just all the same, I'll try them all, one in order.
Okay, well, it takes you a couple tries because there are 2 larger keys, but with a grinding clack, you do activate the lock, and you may now proceed through the door if you wish.
Be my guest, Lynx.
Let's do it. Come on, rock grubs. Open the door.
They just come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wood rock grubs.
There's just the metal
It's
armor
like
left.
18
When
guys
they're
in here, aren't
done.
there?
Oh,
All right.
dear.
Nothing
Gosh.
yet. Nothing yet.
Well, they're either prison cells or we just walked into a church.
We already desecrated or resecrated their church. I don't know.
Yeah.
Resecrated?
Yeah.
I like
In
that
every
word.
odd number alcove, there's a white.
I can actually feel Dungeon Minister cringing in pain over standard TCP/IP. The word you're looking for is consecrated.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, you guys have got more infravision and light than that.
Yeah, I got 60 feet.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so that will actually take you all the way.
Awesome.
Nice.
See, we gotta make sure it's empty.
Is that a door on the opposite wall, or is that just a wall on the opposite wall?
That is wall.
Okay.
These are all closed 10 by 10 cells.
Word.
Portcullis or like wood doors that we can't see through.
There's a wooden door with a with a barred opening high up on it.
This is a good reason we need to check, because I want to check to see if there's prisoners in here.
Timmy, have you fallen in the well again?
If I don't see an exit here, I start on one side and start looking down. What do I see in each door? And are they locked?
I'm sorry, if you don't see an exit, you're going to become a robot. What?
Yes.
Your voice shorted out there.
Oh, okay. Since I don't see an exit, I'm just going to look at all of the cells through the iron bars in the cells.
Okay, there is an obviously dead body in one. There's either someone lying unconscious and very still in another. There is someone who is alive, shivering, covered in injuries, curled up in a fetal position in one corner of the other. And the rest of the cells are unoccupied.
Okay. Can I open up the obviously alive one? And is that a human or a hobgoblin?
It's a human looking. It could be a half elf or an elf. You're not sure. They are filthy and, like I said, covered with sores, injuries, dirt.
Grubs.
No rot grubs. Maggots, though.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's too close already.
Yeah. This individual just hollow stare through just bottomless eyes. They barely acknowledge you except to recoil and kind of make whimpering sounds. You think it's a male. He's holding up one hand to ward you off and has his other hand tucked under his arm, wearing nothing but a filth-covered, just completely filth-encrusted tunic.
Okay, well that's somebody we're rescuing. Outlier, can you check on the one lying still?
The one that looks passed out, I'm going to rap on the door and peek in. Any response?
No.
I'm going to open the door and poke them with the butt of my pole. Not hard.
They don't react to it.
Okay. I will close the door and shake my head no.
Just a sec. Lynx doesn't believe you. All right, I'm gonna go in and poke the dead body.
What do you expect?
Is it cold, or is it like, is rigor mortis set in, or is it somebody unconscious?
Find out it's a ghoul.
whoever it is, they are in similar physical condition to the person whose cell you just went in, and they are barely breathing. Like only like being uncomfortably close could you tell that this individual is even remotely alive.
Okay, I ordered the men-at-arms to I guess rig a stretcher or something, or maybe carry the other two, and we'll leave the dead body because I know what's in the dead body and I don't need more.
No, we only have one door into this place.
Are you saying we could rest here?
Man, I'm just wondering.
I think we want to get out of here so we can identify those items.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's a good idea. We could.
Well, that way we could heal these guys. I mean, assuming you wanted to do that, because I really don't give a damn. We could heal these guys without causing more injury to them.
How long till you get more spells? And are you okay with that, Sir Outlier?
Oh, it's actually at this point. At this point, you'd be looking at about 3 hours.
Do you want to? Let's camp overnight.
No, actually, I need to rest for a solid 4, regardless of whenever we start. So, let's head back.
Okay, we will. Go ahead.
Is there anything else like in the back area there? Is that just more cells at the very end?
It's just more cells, more playroom. Okay. One of your men comes forward and says, "The fellow that was awake, my lord. I think you should see this. I don't know if you have a poultice or something. I don't." And he kind of leads you back. Lord Corion kind of leads Lynx back and to the person, and they're sort of shivering and you're not sure if they're leaning or pressing themselves bodily against the wall, but your fighting man says, no, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Come on. Kind of insistently, but gingerly moves his left hand, which he had like hugging around himself. He has no left hand. There is a bloody and somewhat cauterized stump. And it is clearly infected.
I will bandage that with something if possible, but I got nothing else other than getting him up topside into a healing spell right now.
Okay.
For the time being, a whiskey-soaked rag will have to do.
Thank you, priest.
Alrighty, and you're heading out of the dungeon now, yes?
Indeed.
Hey, I don't just drink whiskey because it tastes good. I also drink it because it's chemical disinfectant.
All right. We are going to end on a cliffhanger because when you arrive back at the... Well, let me ask you this. Are you leaving through the cistern?
Ooh, that's a good question. We could leave through the other way now, but I think we need to leave through the cistern.
Yeah. I think because we're schlepping unconscious stroke wounded people, we probably should leave out the flat way, but
we don't know if we're going to get ambushed that way.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get ambushed the other way, probably.
If we had stayed the night in that convenient place, we probably could
in the
explore
church or the torture chamber church, same difference.
Those both sound like great Airbnb locations. A torture chamber or evil temple. Yeah, let me get my 5-star review ready on those.
You haven't seen the prices on those.
Hey,
they charge
terrible location, great service.
Yeah, does it come with continental breakfast? Sign me up for the Hex store.
Just don't mind the lava.
Free deep tissue massage.
Alexa, cue suspenseful music and cliffhanger. So we will find out next week what happens when the party arrives back at the cistern to escape. Great game tonight, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun. Thank you very much to our audience for hanging out with us this evening. We had a good audience. I think we had like 21, 22 people at max, which is good numbers for these parts. Once again, folks, if you're just stopping by for the first time, if the algorithm threw me out there and you picked up on this and you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please click that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications, for content notifications, because we do this 5 nights a week. Not the AD&D, unfortunately. I'd go a little unhinged with that much AD&D fun. But we do have 5 nights a week of old school gaming goodness. Product reviews, authors come in and talk to us. We have let's play sessions, let's read, all kinds of fun stuff. Monday to Friday, every evening between 7 and 10 Eastern Standard here in the United States. That's tomorrow morning in Australia, which is where my co-host is. Speaking of my co-host, tomorrow, Kyle Schuant will return, and we are going to get into some galactic daring do as we continue on with our classic traveler session. So thank you to our participants tonight, TK, Mark, Doomsword, and Lord Corion for making it happen. Rob said, I really like to chat with Alan. It was fun. We're going to have Alan on the show again. I promise you that. We'll get him back here. These adventures delivered the fun. Thank you, Venger. And thank you again, Rob, for your super. I think was that. Yeah, you hit us with that super earlier. We always appreciate that. So you guys have an absolutely fantastic evening. Be safe, be well, and be back tomorrow. Peace, everybody.